Hi there, I'm going to be reviewing the Simply Deep Tarot, but before I do, just a reminder to subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos on tarot card reviews. I've got a book review I've just posted, and also tarot card meanings. And also go to Facebook and like my Facebook page, which is under Tarot Living. Thanks for watching. Hi there, thank you for joining. It's Ray with Tarot Living. So today I'm going to review the Simply Deep Tarot. And this is actually a tarot deck I recently purchased. So there you go, Simply Deep Tarot. And it is by Chanel Bayless and James Battersby. And they are also the creator and artist on A King's Journey Tarot. Little bit of a different story to this one. This is actually the original Simply Deep. And by the way, the box is absolutely adorable. It does have a magnet. Even though it's small, it's very, very cute. And the book is more than a little white book. So it is actually a book that goes through a description, upright and reversed, of all of the cards, which I think is great. So this just gives you an idea of what you see in it. So each, there's one card on each side of the page. So Knight of Swords, upright, he's quick on his feet, often acting before thinking, he's always on the go, barely settling down, etc., etc. So actually, decently written book for sure. So in terms of something different that's happened with this particular deck, this is the original deck, and I think it was by Schiffer, as I understand it. It was published by Schiffer. If I'm wrong on that, I'll put it below, but I believe it was Schiffer. And this is still available. I got mine from Amazon, readily available. But James Battersby is actually who created the artwork, and he's actually gone ahead and created a borderless edition of this. And I don't think there's even a, I don't know if even the words are at the bottom. You can Google it and find out. But anyway, I wanted the original, and the original is just fine for me. I just wanted to mention that the borders are, I think the white is a little distracting at the top. The minor arcana all have a white stripe at the top. But one thing that is good about it is that the swords, for example, you can see that there's yellow down the side, and the cups, there's actually a light blue down the side, and the coins are kind of a greeny color. So, and the court cards and the majors have a different stripe color at the top, and the minors have just the white stripe at the top. I don't know, it's all a little bit too much for me in terms of too many colors. I'm not sure why this just didn't continue on around the whole way, but anyway. And then the wands actually have kind of a, it's sort of a pinky orange, probably more salmon, I guess I would call it. With the, and then the quartz have the darker orange at the top. So the reason that I'm doing a review on this deck is that I think that this deck would actually be a fairly good beginner's deck. It is not a deck that I would read with in my readings frequently, but I do, pull a card and just sort of want to see, where the deck's at and where things are at that day. And I don't mind doing that. But I think that this actually would be a pretty good deck for a beginner. The book actually does give fairly concise meanings. It does have little color coding on the side, which, and it certainly is labeled at the bottom as to what the card is. And the pictures are quite clear, and they're very easy to understand for the most part. Not all of the depictions follow Rider-Waite exactly, though. I guess that would be the only problem if you're trying to reach toward a Rider-Waite system, although very much in the ballpark. Very much in the ballpark. So, for example, 10 of Cups, different, but, certainly in the ballpark. 3 of Swords, different, but there, you get it. So I'm going to actually show you a whole bunch of these because I think there's many that are really good. So 4 of Wands, which is one of my personal favorite cards, so I always look at that card, I think is beautiful. The World card is absolutely fantastic. And I'm actually, it's so laminated, I'm seeing an image of myself in that card right now. So, yes, the cards are laminated. Can you see that? I have to come up with a different way, obviously. Okay, there. I'll do it that way. So they're a bit shiny. This is the Tower card. And here's the Magician. And I really like the colors, actually, of the Magician card. I've never seen it in any kind of purples, but I'm trying to hold it so that there isn't a reflection of everything. I'm not really the biggest fan of super laminated. That's the Hermit, which I think is beautiful. And the Emperor, I quite like this Emperor. It is a very illustrated, James Battersby is an illustrator, and his cards are more, you know, like a drawing, illustrated drawing, and then he colors them actually, I believe he colors them digitally. Queen of Coins in this deck is good. I mean, it's very simple, but it actually really, to me, depicts well. Knight of Coins, the same, so he's holding some coins. And the horse almost looks like a mule or something. The horse is behind, so there is a horse in it. Six of Coins, though, I'm not sure I'm understanding. Like, there's a little bit too much happiness for having the coins and not enough focus on helping the ones who don't. And so that's a little bit of an odd depiction to me. Eight of Wands is really neat. Kind of fireworks. Queen of Wands is excellent. You know, again, very fiery. Seven of Wands is great. And the Eight of Cups I really like. Do you see how he's walking away from the cups, but notice how there's sort of a sense of, I'm sort of using what I've learned. I'm stepping on the cups to get to the next step. So I have learned something, and I'm using what I've learned, and I'm moving on. Kind of a stepping stone almost. I think that's really neat. Two of Cups is beautiful. And the Queen of Cups is lovely. So if you like something that's more illustrated, and as I say, for beginners, I think this is a really clear deck. Ace of Coins, it's okay. I mean, I don't love it, but it's okay. Three of Cups is lovely. There's a little baby at the top. There's a couple of cards. Oh, before I go into the cards I don't like, I must tell you my favorite cards of the deck, which is actually, I think, why I bought the deck, is the King of Swords. That might be one of my favorite King of Swords depictions. Not that the entire depiction is my favorite painting I've ever seen. It's just that it's so uniquely characterized. Like it creates the uniqueness of what the King of Swords, you know, can represent. Sort of that less emotional, logical, you know, to the point, you know, authoritative, you know, kind of a vibe to it. And it just really, I mean, perhaps is a little aggressive, but it's just, I like that there's uniqueness to some of the court cards, instead of them all being on a throne exactly the same, except that they're holding a sword or they're holding a wand. I just think that's really neat, that there's something unique about that one. And same with this Princess of Swords. So instead of pages, it's princess. And so she's showing here in this little imagination bubble how she's used her sword and she's hit somebody, and so it's almost like you don't know your own capabilities yet because you're still learning, and your words can, you know, not be used perfectly. King of Cups is a really neat depiction. See the difference between, I'm going to try and get that shine away, between the King of Swords and the King of Cups. See, those are the things I'm looking for in a deck. One of the things that's my favorite thing about a favorite deck and a not favorite deck is uniqueness in court cards, and that they're depicted well according to the characteristics of that particular you know, card, and the characteristics of, like, say, Queen of Wands or King of Wands. That's one of the things I'm looking for. See how his King of Wands is very fiery and a lot of red? So they really hit the mark on the court cards on this one, in my opinion. So I thought it was actually worth showing. And The Ace of Wands is actually kind of cute. I have to admit, I'm not really a fan of people in the wands, but, you know, just an idea, a spark of inspiration. That's sort of a neat. Five of Wands I do not like. I'm not sure I even understand. That one doesn't resonate with me. The winding. Maybe someone can leave a notification of what they see in that card. That's not for me. Ten of Swords is not my favorite Ten of Swords I've ever seen. Nine of Wands is not the favorite Nine of Wands I've ever seen. I'm just showing you the ones I don't really love, because I have to be fair, right? I'm going to show you the ones I really love, and I'm going to show you the ones I don't really love. Ten of Coins is a little confusing, but I guess understandable. So, Ten of Pentacles. So, usually, though, there's a depiction of some level of history, of family, kind of inheritance or lineage, tradition, like within family. So there's usually a family, an older person, some younger people. And this more just really relates to, I think, the money aspect of it. So I think it's missing something. And it reminds me too much of the Ten of Cups for me. But for someone who's learning, they might say, oh, yeah, this makes sense, you know. Let's see what they say about the Ten of Coins. I happen to turn right to the page almost. Upright. All the time and energy that you've invested in this project will finally pay off as you get rewarded for unexpected directions. Old friends will come bearing gifts. Appreciate all heart-centered relationships. They bring you fortune than what monetary value can bring. You have many blessings in your life. Okay, that's good. This is the end of the rainbow. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. And then they say inheritance, legacy, tradition. So actually, they have some of the meanings very similar. But I think it's the depiction that I'm not finding to be the most perfect depiction of all times. I'm going to show you a couple that are unique that I'm not really sure about. The Hanged Man. I'd have to read up on what they're trying to depict. The Empress is very beautiful. I quite like that card. Strength is just fine. The High Priestess is a little too fortune-y for me, but I love the coloring though, and the moon is really prominent. So I kind of look for some of the symbolism, you know, whether it's there. Four of Cups is pretty neat. So the person is under the cup and can't really see all that's above. I just think that's a pretty neat depiction. And then the Nine of Cups is pretty neat. So there's a lot of really good ones. And the Ace of Cups is great. I mean, I could go on. You know, Knight of Cups, he's singing, like he's practicing serenading somebody. Princess of Cups is bang on, in my opinion, for imagination, innocence, creativity, something that may be unexpected, you know, the little fish in the bowl. I could go on and on. I shall not. It's a decent deck, and it's got some pretty good cards, and I would actually recommend this for a beginner. Did I tell you my favorite card? One of my favorite cards, the Queen of Swords. She's got a chalkboard behind her with some writing on it, rules, regulations. She's teaching, very heady, very mentally oriented. See? So it's got some good points. You see what I mean, right? It's got some good qualities. The like I said, the little book is quite, clear enough for a beginner to actually really catch on to what the meanings of the cards are. I'm not saying you should stop at that. Again, the box is quite nice. And let me just, yes, it is shiffer. So in front of the book, it's about that thick. You know what? It's not bad. It's not a bad little deck. It's got some really, the Seven of Cups is quite fantastic. So you see my point. There's a few that are off the mark for me. It's maybe a little on the shiny side, maybe a little over illustrated for what I typically, you know, I use cards with realism, but some people really like this style, and I don't mind it. And it's got some clear depictions for beginners, and I always try and just make suggestions. You know, if someone is looking for something that will help them to learn tarot, I think those court cards are actually probably would help them learn court cards better than a lot of decks. So kudos to Chanel Bayless and James Battersby for creating a deck with some good qualities. So anyway, that's it for me. I have done several videos today. I'm going to say goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe and check out my Facebook page, which is Tarot Living. And I do card draws and card meanings. And then I also post the videos there so you can get them right away. And so, yeah, do that. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're really energetic, like my video. Thanks so much. Have a great day.